Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of Barça Admirers. Now today's hot topic is the newly inaugurated European Super League. If you are interested to know more about the European Super League, then make sure that you watch this video till the very end without skipping. So now let's begin without any further ado. The European Football League is here, and frankly speaking, it is an absolute disgrace to the beautiful game. But we will come to that later on. As of now, let's go through the Super League's statement. 12 of Europe's leading football clubs have today come together to announce that they have agreed to establish a new midweek competition, the European Super League, governed by its founding clubs: AC Milan, Arsenal, Atletico de Madrid, Chelsea, Barcelona, Inter Milan, Juventus, Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United, Real Madrid and Tottenham Hotspur have all joined as founding clubs. It is anticipated that a further 3 clubs will join ahead of the inaugural season, which is intended to commence as soon as practicable. The formation of the Super League comes at a time when the global pandemic has accelerated the instability in the existing European football economic model. The pandemic has shown that a strategic vision and a sustainable commercial approach are required to enhance value and support for the benefit of the entire European football pyramid. Next up is the European Super League's competition format. We will take a closer look at that. The format of competition of the Super League has already been decided, and it looks something like this: 20 participating clubs with 15 founding clubs, and a qualifying mechanism for a further 5 teams to qualify annually based on achievements in the prior season. Midweek fixtures will take place, with all participating clubs continuing to compete in the respective national leagues, preserving the traditional domestic match calendar, which remains at the heart of the club game. An August start with clubs participating in 2 groups of 10 teams, playing home and away fixtures, with the top 3 in each group automatically qualifying for the quarterfinals. Teams finishing 4th and 5th will then compete in a 2-legged playoff for the remaining quarterfinal positions. A 2-leg knockout format will be used to reach the final at the end of May, which will be staged as a single fixture at a neutral venue. As soon as practicable, after the start of the men's competition, a corresponding women's team will also be launched, helping to advance and develop the women's game. Following are the reactions of various fans and the 2 most important football governing bodies, UEFA and FIFA's reaction to the formation of the European Super League. Europe's football governing body, UEFA, has directly warned the clubs linked to the Super League that they face being banned from domestic and international competitions if they go ahead with a rival to the Champions League. In a joint statement with the Spanish, English and Italian leagues and federations, UEFA said it will consider all measures, including the courts and bans from domestic leagues, in opposition to plans for breakaway competition in the format of the Super League. UEFA said it had learned that clubs from those countries may be planning to announce their creation of a so-called Super League. UEFA, the English Football Association, the Premier League, the Royal Spanish Football Association, La Liga, the Italian Football Federation and Lega Serie A have today released a statement. And the statement reads that if this were to happen, they wish to reiterate that they and also FIFA and also all the member associations will remain united in their efforts to stop this cynical project, a project that is founded on the self-interest of a few clubs at a time when society needs more solidarity than ever. Now they also said that these bodies will consider all measures available to us at all levels, including both judicial and sporting, in order to prevent this abomination from taking place. Football is based on open competitions and sporting merit. It cannot be any other way. Now let's have a look at the reaction of the world governing body, FIFA. In January, FIFA had said that a breakaway league would not be recognized and that any club or player involved in such a competition would, as a consequence, not be allowed to participate in any competition organized by FIFA or their respective federation, meaning that the players taking part in that league would be banned from the World Cup. Bundesliga CEO weighs in to offer his support to the three leagues, FAs whose teams have signed up to the breakaway Super League. Says move born out of the desire of the handful of elite teams to enrich themselves will not be supported. Sunday's UEFA statement said that the clubs concerned will be banned from playing any other competition at domestic, European or at the world level, and the players could be denied the opportunity to represent their national teams. They have also released a statement in which they have thanked other countries, especially the French and German clubs who have refused to sign up on the European Super League. They have also called on all the lovers of football, supporters and politicians to join them in fighting against such a project if it were to be announced. It has already been announced though. Now this persistent self-interest of a few clubs has been going on for so long. Enough is enough. Now, despite the joint warnings of FIFA, UEFA and all the other domestic football association bodies, the clubs that were involved in the formation of the Super League decided to go ahead with it, and they have made it official. European Super League has officially came into existence. But now, what UEFA or FIFA does is yet to be seen. Whether they will stand firm in their decision to ban these clubs from any sort of competitions in the future, or will they finally give in to their demands, is something that football lovers are eagerly waiting to see. This new European Super League is an abomination. It is a bloody disgrace to the name of the beautiful game. Why? Now let's have a look at the present international scenario of football competitions. Top 4 clubs from Europe's top 5 leagues get to play directly in the main group stages of the UEFA Champions League, while other clubs have to play 1 or 2 rounds of qualifiers before they get to that. The structure is similar in the Europa League as well, and both these competitions guarantee a fair chance to all the European clubs to showcase their talents, irrespective of whether they're big or small. But the ESL eliminates any sort of competition for the big clubs, which means that while smaller clubs may have the chance to participate in it, the so-called 15 founding clubs will practically guarantee their presence in the Super League. Only 5 additional slots are available, so that only means reduced competition and excitement, something that murders the spirit of the beautiful game. Football isn't supposed to be like that. Football is supposed to be fair for all. The only positive thing that can come from this is that these so-called big clubs will get to play against each other, and this might draw some entertainment. But then again, there is absolutely no definition of what a big club is. The negatives and demerits of the European Super League far outweigh its positive. First of all, there is absolutely no definition of what a big club is. If a club's branding value determines whether it's a big club or not, there will be no competition left in football. You have to prove your mettle on the pitch, and your performance proves whether you're big or not. The ESL will only ensure that the monopoly of football remains enclosed within a few hand-picked, rich and brandable clubs. There will be no fairy tales, no more Leicester Cities, no more Monacos and no more Ajax Amsterdams. This is the end of competitive football. American banking and investment firm JP Morgan have announced and confirmed that they are the ones financing the breakaway European Super League, and the amount of investment will brace yourselves. It stands at a humongous 3.5 billion euros. That's right, guys. Now this makes it abundantly clear that the European Super League is nothing but a bag of money for the clubs. Every club, just for participating in this league, will get an added bonus of 350 million euros. Now that's huge, right? Now wait a second. You know the prize? The prize money for winning the European Super League is 500 million euros. That means if a club wins the European Super League, that club will automatically get 850 million euros to last a lifetime. We all know that almost all European clubs, whether big or small, have suffered heavy losses in the COVID-19 pandemic period. And it's not just the European clubs all over the world have suffered losses. Barcelona themselves are indebted by at least 1.2 billion euros. But that is no excuse to sell football to the highest bidder and keep it monopolized in the hands of a few rich clubs. The smaller clubs will be absolutely ruined. If the big clubs are funded by a cash inflow of at least 350 million euros, which is guaranteed by the participation in the European Super League, this will only increase the prices of players because of higher competition among buyers. In this case, the clubs themselves. Even mediocre players will fetch humongous transfer fees coupled with huge salaries, and that will automatically put the market out of reach of smaller, financially weaker clubs. Several stars, including ex-footballers, managers, and members of various national football associations, have condemned the idea about the European Super League. Gary Neville was the first one. He publicly stated that he was disgusted with Manchester United and Liverpool the most, and he also insisted that the English people have to wrestle back power in England from the clubs at the top of the league, and that includes his own club. He said that it was pure greed and that these clubs are imposters. The owners of Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea and Manchester City have nothing to do with football in England. Man United, Arsenal, Tottenham aren't even in the Champions League. How have they got the right to be in the European Super League? How can they call themselves a big club? Now the time has come to have independent regulators to stop these clubs from having a huge power base. Enough is enough. Former Manchester United star Rio Ferdinand has declared it as a war on football. He has also said that anti-competitiveness goes against everything that football is all about, and these people and these clubs have no idea what football is about. Toni Kroos, Real Madrid's German midfielder, had said previously that unfortunately these players don't decide these things. The players are just puppets of FIFA and UEFA. If there was a players' union, the players wouldn't have to play the Nations League or a Spanish Super Cup in Saudi Arabia. These competitions are intended to absorb everything financially and squeeze players physically too. Sir Alex Ferguson also took his stand against the ESL. He said that a talk of a Super League is a move away from 70 years of club football. In his time at United, Man U played in 4 Champions League finals, and they were always the most special of nights. Taking football away from the Champions League was no way justified. The European Super League will be supervised by a governing body, and the chairman of that governing body is Florentino Perez, who is also non-accidentally and very much incidentally the president of Real Madrid. Now that automatically raises questions about its impartiality. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has also condemned the ESL. He has said that plans for the said Super League would be very damaging for football and that they support football authorities in taking action. They should strike at the heart of the domestic game, and this will raise concern for fans across the country. The clubs involved must answer to their fans and the wider footballing community before taking any further steps. French President Emmanuel Macron has also said that the President of this republic welcomes the position of the French clubs to refuse to participate to a European Football Super League project that threatens the principles of solidarity and sporting merit. Football Supporters Europe, with the members in 48 countries, has also spoken out. They have said that it is illegitimate, irresponsible and anti-competitive by design. More to the point, it is driven exclusively by greed. The only ones who stand to gain are the hedge funds, oligarchs and a handful of already wealthy clubs, many of which perform poorly in their own domestic leagues despite their inbuilt financial advantage. Shots fired at Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspurs. Now, despite the warning of stern actions being taken by FIFA and UEFA, the 15 founder clubs have officially announced their inauguration of the ESL, and Barcelona as of now is the latest club to enroll. Now that will be all for today, guys, but before I ask you to subscribe and turn on our notifications, there's something else. Quite frankly, I'm ashamed that my club has come to this point. We were supposed to be more than a club, but apparently we have fallen from grace. This competition goes against everything that our club's founding fathers stood for. It goes against the very values of the beautiful game. This is bigger than Barca or any other player. This is about the survival of the sport, survival of the spirit of the game. We urge the fans of various clubs to forget their differences and protest against this abomination. Come and stand together in solidarity. Don't watch their games. Boycott ESL. Hit them where it hurts the most, in their goddamn pockets. But make them realize that they won't survive without our help. And if they don't listen to our demands, we will respond. That's all for today, guys. VISÇA Barça, VISÇA Catalunya. I hope we all end this abomination.